Good morning, good afternoon, should I say, comic book fans. Welcome back to Ka-Pow Comics. I'm Evelyn Shorty, and today we are talking about Free Comic Book Day. Specifically, the stuff that's happening in this shop. We don't have the full range of what's out there. Two reasons for that. Number one, we're a small store, and sometimes people don't really want everything. We don't have customers for everything, so I only order what I think I'm going to have people come and want. And secondly, we're a UK store, and that occasionally means licensing restrictions and some stuff which just the UK wing of Diamond can't get in stock. Before we get into all the comic books, I'm going to talk about a little bit about Free Comic Book Day and what it means and what it's for. Some of this stuff is going to be very, very specific to my store. If you are going to a Free Comic Book Day store elsewhere, get in contact with that store, find out what they're doing, how they're going to work things. So, Free Comic Book Day is a day where, or usually a day, last couple of years, it's been a bit ropey, but it's a day where pretty much every major comic book publisher produces something which comic book stores give away for free to their customers. It's not free to the stores. We have to pay a little bit of money for each one, and we literally order them in the hundreds, if not thousands. The aim being, or the intent being, that people will come in, hello Andrew, people will come in and grab some free stuff, which is cool, that's what we want, but they'll also buy some stuff as well. And the last 2 years notwithstanding, this has always worked for us. It's usually, in fact, it isn't usually, it is, with the exception of the last 2 years, the busiest day we have every year. In terms of sales, it like doubles any other day you can name. Even the run up to Christmas, this is where we make most of our money, and it sees us, to be fair, through the rest of summer. Where it gets a bit quiet when people go on holidays and students go home for the holidays. So it's actually a really big day for us, and we appreciate everyone who comes in. Even if you're the kind of person who will literally come in one day a year and grab some free comic books, fine. That's what it's there for. We are here to give free comic books away. But if you see something you like, you might get something else as well, and that's really good for us. The comic books this year are actually ranked 3 different age groups, and the first ones we're going to see are actually all 3 of them, so it's nice and easy for me to explain it to you. And for the rest of it, I've just put them in alphabetical order by the publishers. I don't think there's any kind of preferential treatment given to the publishers, literally alphabetical. For people who are coming in on Saturday, which is the first Saturday in May, again, usually this year, thankfully, it is on the first Saturday in May, you can get up to 5 comic books for free. Which are from the Free Comic Book Day stack, but you can get no more than 1 of each. This is to stop people being silly buggers. Not to say people will come in and grab just like handful of stuff without thinking about it, but pretty much every year there's one kind of key comic book that people are looking for, and people will grab a handful thinking, you never know, I might be able to put this on eBay, and even if I sell it for like £2, you've made money. We don't like that. I'm not saying you can't do it. Like once you take it out of the shop, you can do what the hell you like with it. But the aim is to put these into hands of people who really want to read the comic books. That's the entire point of it. It is to advertise things, don't get me wrong. The reason the comic book industries sell these things to us very, very cheap to give away for free is that they expect that themselves will get some return on this investment, that people will pick stuff up and go, actually, I want to try this out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think it's always worth a shot and aiming to try to get the comic book market growing and reaching out to more people. It's always, always good. And yeah, if you're going to speculate stuff, you can, but please don't do it here. So now we're going to get to running down the comic books. There's quite a few of them. I've not read and reviewed all of them because honestly, who's got the time? And a lot of them just don't interest me. I have my own personal comic book taste. Some of these I will be getting, some of them I won't. But I do always try and limit myself to 5 because I don't like taking the mickey on this kind of thing. So I will only pick 5 out of all of these ones for myself. And we're going to start with one I definitely am taking. So let's start with A, Ablaze. I do like Ablaze at the moment. They do stuff, specifically Tresse. It is an anime thing on Netflix. You can watch that. It's absolutely brilliant. And I've got all 3 of the volumes at home. And not only does this have like a preview of the art of Tresse, which is really quite cool, a few extra pages at the back, it looks like it's got an original story in there as well. Because not everyone in the Free Comic Book stuff has a whole story. They can present in lots of different ways. Aftershock Comics, I should have said, that red border on the top there means adult only, 18 plus. This blue border here means teens, 13 plus. So, you know, if you're coming with your kids, double check. This is Bunny Mask, which is a horror comic book, but it isn't like really overtly gory sexual deviance happening. It is just a creepy comic book. And again, from Aftershock, they've got some original content in there, which is very, very cool. And now we have one that is for everybody. It's Three Stooges. And this is actually kind of a nice one. We don't really get much from American mythology in here. Not many people ask for their stuff. But this one actually has just lots of short stories in here, like 2-4 pages long, each one. So they're great. Just pick up and read and flick through and hopefully be funny as well. From Archie now, the best Archie comics ever. And this is an odd one. It feels like it's more of an advert for what they're doing with the best Archie comic ever, which is the thing they're doing. But it's telling lots of different stories and riffing on all their different properties as well. So you don't just have Archie in there. You've got all the members of the Riverdale gang and even some of the horror stuff and the superhero stuff they do as well, all put in one thing together. Very much a primer, very much an advertising thing. But if you like Archie, there is some unique content in there as well. A bit of a lack of unique content from AWA here. This is basically them pushing one of their best sellers, one of the most popular ones, one that's getting a lot of buzz at the moment, Primos. I did read it. I did really like it. It has a lot of fun with racist stereotypes, which is entertaining because it doesn't actually play into them. It points out that they're bad and reverses them, which is cool. What they have done with this one is not only do you get the entirety of issue 1 there, you get the entirety of issue 1 again in Spanish. So it actually is in language with the people who wrote it, which is very, very cool indeed. From Boom Studios, we have Buffy the Vampire Slayer. This is an almost thing that's kind of like an advert. It's got a couple of different stories in here, basically leading on to the Vampire Slayer, Buffy. But weirdly, that's already out. So I don't know if this is like just a timing issue that went kind of wrong, but this is an advert for a comic book you can already buy. From Boom Studios, again, we will get a few where you get more than one from a company. This is an all ages one called Hollow, which is effectively a Sleepy Hollow style story. I've only flicked through this one. I do like the artwork for it, and it looks like he's having a little bit of fun with the kind of standard high school drama, high school romancing with a bit of horror in there as well. From Comic House, company I'm not really familiar with, but I love that cover, and I know you should judge books by the cover. This looks proper old school. It looks to be a fully self-contained story, but it's done artwork style, kind of old school and basic. Some full page layout, and even the paper quality and feel to it feels very much like 80s and 90s. First one from Dark Horse, teen reader one, Stranger Things. With also Resident Alien. And these two, again, do feel like they are unique stories put in there. So if you are a collector of either Stranger Things or Resident Alien, this may get put into a collection down the line, but there's never any promise or guarantee of that. So you might want to make sure you get hold of that one. For the younger readers, Legend of Korra and Avatar The Last Airbender. Again, unique stories in each of these. Maybe collected some to put down the line, but I wouldn't guarantee it. The big stuff for DC is Dark Crysis. We have the regular and shiny cover. And I say shiny, it's literally the same cover, but shiny and doesn't have the branding on it. Inside, it does feel like this is just a promo for the Dark Crisis event, but there does seem to be some unique stuff in here. And there's quite a few different stories in it. I think there's like at least 3 different things happening when I was flicking through it. Some of the artwork is absolutely spectacular. Some of it is just a backdrop of what's happened in the DC universe before. And there's also about 7 pages of ads in the back. Because, yeah, if you're going to get a free comic book day comic, it's going to be full of adverts. Also from DC, though, for teen readers, League of Super Pets, which I thought should have been green. I thought that would be fine for everyone. And Galaxy, the brightest star. Oh, sorry, prettiest star. I do like the artwork in this one. It looks absolutely spectacular in there. And again, a bit of a sci-fi riff on high school drama. League of Super Pets, I think, just because they've got the Super Pets movie coming out, that's just promoting that. But who really complains? That's a cool thing. And that movie looks amazing. From Dynamite, we have Red Sonja. This is a reprint, but it's 2 different reprints from 2 different eras of companies owning it, Marvel and Dynamite themselves. So you get some classic Red Sonja in there. From Humanoids, you get a whole bunch of the Inkle universe. Again, multiple comics basically promoting a lot that's coming out within this universe, and lots of background on the Inkle stuff as well, including reading orders for both the originals and the follow-ups. So if you want to get into any of this that Humanoids are doing, this is a good jumping on point. First one from IDW, TMNT. I like this one. I flipped through it, thoroughly enjoyed it. I like the fact it's got a wraparound cover. And the 2 different stories, one of them is a reprint of the first few pages or the first opening of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and the opening bit actually is a retelling or a reframing of that, but in a far more contemporary story. Genuinely looks cool and interesting. This might be one I take, even though I don't really read Turtles that much. And then we have Sonic the Hedgehog, which is just full of Sonic stories. Not really doing much advertising for that one, but it does look cool. First one from Image is huge. Like, this is one of the biggest free comic book day ones we've ever given away. It has one entire full story on here, which appears to be just an entire issue of a Walking Dead Clementine story, and then 2 different add-on stories, one of which looks kind of like a chibi manga anime kind of thing, and Sea Serpent's Air, which is a dark fantasy horror, which I quite like the look of. We're going to go full horror, Bone Orchard Mythos Prelude. This is Jeff Lemire's big thing he's launching with lots of different creators, doing lots of horror stories within the same shared universe. And Andrea Sorrentino is a fantastic artist. I flicked through this one and I absolutely love it. Not the biggest Jeff Lemire fan, but this one might turn me. From Kodansha next, we have Blackguard and One Dance. I've only flipped through these for the artwork. I don't read the stories. It looks kind of cool, but not really something I'm going to pick up. Nottingham, another red one. This one is dark, brutal fantasy full of violence. Lots and lots of bloody violence. But it is excellent and well worth time if that's what you're into. This, I think, is the big one from Marvel. This one a lot of people are going to want to grab hold of. If you do want it, try and get in early on in the day. There's this and at least one of the Marvel ones which is going to fly off. This one is not only because it's tied in with the big Kieran Gill event, Avengers vs. X-Men vs. Eternals, but it also has the very first appearance ever of Blade's daughter in it, who's been introduced to the Marvel Universe in this comic book. So this is the one that speculators will be trying to grab by their handfuls. So if you want to scupper their plan, just come down with your kids and get one each. Also from Marvel, we have their Voices, which is basically a riff on various of their different voice comics they've done for the LGBTQIA plus community, and also Indigenous folk people and other minorities, Asian Americans and Latinx as examples. I think some of this might be original, some might be reprinted. I can't remember all of the stuff that came out in those, but still well worth a look. Lots of good creators involved in this one. Other big one from Marvel. I actually ordered more of this one in, which might have been a mistake on my part. But usually when you've got Spider-Man and Venom, these are the popular ones. Not least for that you've got a new creative team on Spider-Man, but Venom got Rat V and Al Ewing, two very popular writers. From Penguin, I think this is a new Tom Taylor one, The Neverlanders. Which actually does look very cool. I flicked through this one because I'm kind of on a bit of a Tom Taylor riff. I've heard from various people that his writing style seems to be more writing for Instagram and Twitter, so people can just share cool things about it. And I do totally get that. I can see why that would be a criticism. But he's also, like, he puts good stories together behind this, and I do like the look of this one. Absolutely worth checking out. From Rebellion, Best of 2000 AD, again. It's not really a bad thing, but if you would have picked the best 2000 AD, check to see if you've not got the exact same things in here, because this wasn't supposed to get launched like 2 years ago and didn't, and we're hoping it's actually going to get launched this time. It does read like 2000 AD, even though it's formatted more like an American comic book. It is an anthology. There is 4 or 5 different stories in here, including a couple of one-page things, which is very, very cool. A couple of younger reader ones now, from Scholastic on RH Graphic, Max Meow, Cat on the Street, stuff like this, weirdly, is some of the best-selling comic book-esque kind of stuff you can get in this country and in America as well. They are hugely popular things because you don't just get them in comic book stores, you get them in bookshops. So quite often when people come into the store and say, what have you got for kids? I have to tell them, it's like, well, we don't sell much that's aimed at kids because they don't really make much or they don't send it out to us. This stuff you buy in bookshops. You go to kids section of bookshop, ask for this kind of thing, you can find it. Not only that, but from Dave Pilkey, we have Captain Underpants, Dogman, and Cat Kid Comics Club, which is all just fun. There's stuff in the back of there as well, like activities and mazes and things and games. It's definitely aimed at kids. From Scout Comics, otherwise, or Black Caravan, which everyone. Again, this one I might think veers slightly more towards the red than the blue. We have Electric Back, The Children of Cain. I flipped this one. It does look kind of cool. I like the dark artwork in this one. Another horror one coming up next from Source Point Press. This is a one-shot, The Winchester Mystery House. This is leading into an advert for, or a promo for what is going to be an ongoing series based on the Winchester Mystery House. I have seen several different people, both in and several different media, in fact, try to do a good story based on the Winchester Mystery House. Nobody has quite managed to make anything that's really scared me yet, but it's a blisteringly cool concept. I really hope this one is going to land. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look into the Winchester Mystery House. It's very interesting. One that is actually definitely a red banner this time. Cullen Bunn taking on Bloodborne, but it does have Kowalski on the artwork, who's absolutely fantastic. This is one of the more disappointing ones, though. This is literally just an ad. There's maybe 8 or 10 pages of actual comic book in here. Most of it is just telling you it's going to be coming out and what else you can get in it. And you don't get anything like full story, and it ends in a really awkward place. But if you want to give it a try and see at least what you're going to get, then yeah, give it a try. Other one, though, a nice green banner for everyone, Doctor Who, which is a full story with the alternate Doctor. They actually do tell you what this Doctor is. The Fugitive Doctor, I do apologise. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan. I'm not a Whovian. But flicking through it does look cool, and it doesn't just read like an advert. From Tokyo Pop, we have The Guardian of Fukushima, basically riffing on some very bad stuff that happened in a fantastical way. Really nice artwork, though. From Udon, Street Fighter Masters, Blanca. This is, if I remember rightly, I flicked through this, it is a dialogue-free comic book, so the action sequences have to be good. Thankfully, they are. From Volt, this should not have a blue banner. This should be a red banner. It's barbaric. It is full of very graphic violence. It is excellent, and it is the entirety of issue 1 reprinted. which is probably going to drop the value of the issue one I've got in back issues there, which is actually used to be quite a collectible comic. You could now get pretty much the entire thing here. And this is kind of a promo thing because they're going to do a second Barbaric series coming out soon, and I can't wait. I absolutely loved it. It's one of the best things I read last year. From Viz Media, we've got a couple now. Teens. We've got Kaiju 8 with an additional Sakamoto Days. Artwork in these looks fantastic. The artwork for the Kaiju 8 looks fantastic. And finally, we have Pokemon, which is just full of Pokemon stories. You do not need me to tell you on this one. If you don't know what Pokemon is, you're probably not going to get anything from it. If you know what Pokemon is, you're going to love it. That's all there is to it. That's it. Job done. That is everything we've got. Like I say, this won't be everything that's available. If you go to the freecomicbookday.com website, there will be a list of everything that should be available. But some of it, after doing this for years now, I've realized we just end up with stuff sat in the back for ages. And I'll give some extra. I'll be pulling those back issues out for Free Comic Book Day, and people can grab those if they missed out on them in the previous few years. So there will be chance for more free stuff. Also, the first person who walks through our door will get all of this pile. Another reason why I grabbed all this out. Whoever comes in first through that door is going to get a comic box, a short box, not a long box, a short box with all these in, plus a bunch for the freebies, including some action figures, some collectibles, and because we are trying to push it a little bit, some Warhammer stuff as well. And the first 50 people in get a goodie bag with some additional free comic books and some posters and some more Games Workshop stuff and just I think got some Hellboy stuff to give away. So yeah, come on in and come on in early. We love it. I love coming in the morning with bacon butty, ready to start my day and see people queuing up outside my shop. I'm not going to lie, it's a massive ego boost. And yeah, you can probably tell from my lack of confidence how much I shirk from such things, and I really need a confidence boost. Right, that's it for me though. I'm done for today. Tomorrow we have got a delivery coming in, but it is going to be done as in like a brand new delivery on New Comic Book Day. So I'm going to want to fly through it as quick as I can. It will not be a quick video, and you're probably not going to get a review tomorrow. But there's enough to miss Thursday, Friday, and maybe one on Saturday as well. So until then, look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.